I'm going to take another look at that. Perpetual motion is the motion of bodies that continue forever. There are some figures that come along and we think they're going to live forever. When transcendent figures emerge and become the de facto leader of a movement, and then there was an organic rise, losing that figure before we understand what should be their time, it really leaves you in a state of disbelief and loss. People have this belief that we are powerful, all powerful. With our minds and our will, we can move mountains. Then something like May 5th, 2022 happens. Because May 4th, 2022, I was one of thousands who watched Kevin Samuels live sign off of his live stream, and none of us knew that would be the last time he would stream live again. Tonight, I want to talk on what would be his birthday, March 13th. I want to talk about something that I call the Kevin Samuels effect. Before I do, I'm going to play a clip from the real MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. But before I play that clip, I was scheduled to do this live the 13th at 6:30 in the p.m., but this is heavy on my mind, and I decided just to get up and go ahead and go live. There's no one here. It's just me and the camera. But it'll post on YouTube, and hopefully we'll get a couple views from that. But I just want to deal with this now so I won't miss what happens as Kevin Samuels' channel goes live for the first time since May 4th, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, I want to play this video from MTR. This is the evening of May 5th, and then we'll be right back.
What a difference a day makes. Right now I have May 5th at 9:05 p.m. On my clock. I spoke to O'Shea, I think about an hour or so ago, who passed on the news. I'm not typically one for hearsay or gossip, so I much rather hold back and wait for the actual news to occur. It's hard for me to put into words what I feel like right now. It feels like a numbing pain, if that makes sense. It feels like I'm in pain, but there's Novocaine over my body. So I know I'm in pain, but I just feel numb. Forgive me, I have a very small family, so I'm not accustomed to death amongst my family or my friends. You guys don't know this, but and you'd have no way to know this because, I've never really talked about this, but I began developing a friendship with Kevin about a year or so ago. We just DM'd each other on Instagram, like, hey man, I like your content. Hey man, I like your content too. Exchanged numbers and we just began to have conversations. Those conversations, which typically focused from a business perspective, from strategy to gaining audience to reach, began to transition into a friendship. Over the last several months, I talked to Kevin on the phone, if not every day, every other day. This YouTube thing is weird. It's very weird. We're just talking to a camera about our thoughts and our ideologies, and there's no expectation that people would even want to hear the things that you have to say or even care. But I get emails specific to young men that say that if it wasn't for hearing this specific thing in a video, I would have deleted myself off this planet. And I know if I got them, Kevin got them. I know Kevin got them. So it's odd in a sense because we're just talking in front of a lens and you really don't understand the impact or the reach of how many people that you can touch with the words that just come from our mind. But Kevin was an absolute expert at it. I consider him a friend. I considered him a mentor. I considered him an uncle. I considered him someone I could just talk to with things about. What I found is speaking from a man's perspective, one of which typically is not a perspective that has been put on a pedestal for decades within our media. And because it's so different, people will remove themselves from your lives. They will ostracize you. They don't get it. They don't understand the importance. They don't know why men need to be affirmed. They don't care as to a man's plight, how a man should be looking at a particular situation. Kevin was the leader in that. He had an uncanny ability, and I would tell him this, and I'd ask him, how is it that you do this? But he has an uncanny ability to take these complex, abstract issues and our problems and to communicate it in a way that is so clever, that is so decisive. That it impacted so many lives. So many. I don't want to drag this video on. I just wanted to turn this on and kind of just give my in the moment thoughts. I talked with Kevin last night. It was just a normal conversation. As what we normally do. Hey man, what's up? How you doing? How you feeling? What you got going on for the weekend? Oh, focus group that, and I think I'm gonna be doing topics like this. Da da da. Have you looked at this? How's this doing for you? It's just a normal conversation. But again, that's the difference a day makes. Again, I considered him a friend. He will be sorely, sorely missed. I will sorely, sorely miss him. I will miss his influence. This is, another reminder to tell your loved ones that you love them. You never know when your time is going to be up. You never know when their time is going to be up. So call them and let them know. Give them their roses before you can't.
The Kevin Samuels effect. Here's what I mean by that. Whether he understood this or not, most of the black male content creators took their cues from him. If you could look at a timeline, Kevin would stream on a Monday, outline the topic for the week or the issues for the week that he's going to cover. And nearly every black male content creator on YouTube would make content on that message with Kevin. Also, if there was an issue in the national conversation, content creators would wait to hear what Kevin had to say about it. That's the kind of influence. That kind of influence is called leadership. He also discussed feuds with people that what people would get into. He would talk about how to handle the conflict amongst men. He also discussed feuds. He also talked extensively about how to carry yourself as a black man and a black woman. He would hold to task those in the national conversation accountable for any disrespect of our collective image, no matter if that person was a black man or a black woman. And especially if that person, that black man or black woman in the national conversation was attacked unjustly, there was always the voice of Kevin Samuels. Now, when you look at content, it's a mess. And the messaging is way off. There's very little collective conversations anymore. And it's more of an every man or woman for himself again. It's a mess. Kevin Samuels was slowly moving the conversation and behaviors towards a single message and a conversation of reconciliation between black men and black women. But now, just a few months after his death, it's back to the Hatfields and the McCoys. Before I wrap up, let me make one more point. We constantly talk about the necessity of black male leadership. We talk about how our black women should respect it and seek a black man with a healthy dose of it. But the one thing we don't talk enough about is that black men need leadership too. Kevin Samuels understood this deeply, profoundly, and intimately. When he would address black men's issues, he never forgot to take a moment and hit hard on the need for black men to find mentorship and coaching, because the overwhelming majority of black men, including myself, did not have those tools in the home. He would often state that, unfortunately, because so many of us did not receive that, now at our adult age, we're going to have to pay for it, meaning out of pocket cash. He talked candidly about black men getting a second job and taking that money and investing it into yourself for coaching and mentorship to make yourself a better man. Kevin Samuels made it okay for black men to stop being ashamed of the fact that our manhood is severely underdeveloped. And it's no shame in going out and paying someone to get the help to fill in the gaps. In fact, he felt it was a necessary step in the evolution of your manhood. Understand, for black men, Kevin Samuels was the permission for black men to be upfront with the fact that we matter as black men. And there's nothing wrong with demanding the respect that comes along with that, as long as you put in the work. There's a lot more I want to say, but I'm not going to keep this very long at all. In just a minute, I'm going to let Kevin speak on that in his own words. But first, let me say this. I wanted to be artful in my statement today. Some expressions can't be illustrated with words, no matter the quality of the person's ability to orate. Let me say this. Throughout mankind, every time the world was in peril, God sent a warrior. Every time a culture was in peril, God sent a warrior. What we have what we have a hard time accepting is that warriors are not long for this world, simply due to the nature of what they are here to do. Warriors, their lives are short lived. The last 40 plus years, the black family has been in a downward free fall. Sorry. We all know it. We're, we are all watching it, and very few of us will say anything about it. To do so, to say anything about it, could land you on the outside of the black tribe. But the black tribe has failed. We are not actively failing anymore, meaning we are not in the process of failing. The failing has already occurred. We are currently in need of rescue. I'm going to go a little biblical on you, just a little bit. The Israelites were enslaved, and God sent a warrior, Moses. Let's bring it a little closer to home. American chattel African slavery, God sent many warriors from Nat Turner to Harriet Tubman. Now, when you talk about through or the end of Reconstruction, there was Marcus Garvey. The Civil Rights era, God sent men like Medgar Evers, Fred Hampton, Malcolm X. Reflecting on those individuals, we almost have like a superhero or larger than life view of them, when in reality, they're just regular men and women with a unique gift that God decided to deliver or require them to use that gift to rescue a society, a culture, and in the case of Jesus Christ, a world. Now, I'm not comparing these people, all these people, to Jesus Christ or comparing them all to one another. Black families need a rebirth, and we needed a messenger. Even if the man made your skin crawl, because I'm thinking about the celebrating that a lot of people did around this man's death. Even if he made your skin crawl, even if he angered you, the job was done. The conversation, even though it's contentious, has started, or he started it. The Kevin Samuels effect.
I talk about any of the things, the catchwords I use them for a very specific reason, because you matter. And you need to carry yourself as such. Many guys, if you're honest with yourself, you had to actually learn how to be treated well. You came from some of these chaotic, dysfunctional kind of environments where arguing, screaming, fussing, and fighting was the order of the day. When somebody was actually nice to you for the first time, in particular a lady friend, would probably kind of threw you off. There are plenty of videos on the internet showing guys who used to being yelled at or hollered at by their girlfriend.
Anytime you try to do anything worth anything, I swear the devil gets his way into everything. Let's try this again. I don't know why this is glitching the way it's glitching. Let's give it a shot again.
Gentlemen, if no one's told you, you got to tell yourself, you are special. You are important. You are the... See, when I talk about things like confident, intelligent, and assertive, CIA, when I talk about frames, fragrance, footwear, when I talk about any of the things, the catchwords I use them for a very specific reason, because you matter. And you need to carry yourself as such. Many guys, if you're honest with yourself, you had to actually learn how to be treated well. You came some of these chaotic, dysfunctional kind of environments where arguing, screaming, fussing, and fighting was the order of the day. When somebody was actually nice to you for the first time, in particular a lady friend, it probably kind of threw you off. There are plenty of videos on the internet showing guys who are used to being yelled at or hollered at by their girlfriend, wife, or significant other. It takes some getting over, getting used to being treated better. So how do you start getting treated well by others? Yeah, Kevin, it's common sense, so it's easier said than done. How did you get there? Well, the first thing is I started to treat myself well. At every level I was at, I did not necessarily wait to treat myself well. Yeah, even when you're making minimum wage, get an extra topping on your pizza, get extra cheese. The little things, guys, matter so much. That's why I talk about the 3 F's, frames, fragrance, and footwear. I just grabbed these 2 right here. Roja Dove Elysium. Costs more than the average fragrance, but when you wear it, you'll know where your money went. And this one right here, Molecular One, probably my favorite fragrance on the planet. But when I wear it, I feel incredible. This is me treating myself well. This is me treating myself like I matter, wearing this, wearing that. It comes to the frame game, putting a little bit more money into the quality of my frames. You don't necessarily know it, but I know it when I wear them, how they feel on my face, how they hug, just the contour. You can tell the difference when you're wearing a nice pair of shoes, how they feel. A good pair of shoes changes you. It changes everything about you. It changes the way you walk, the way you glide across the room. It changes your strut, your stride, your stance, your gait, your masculine frame. So guys, you gotta treat yourself better in everything. That's why I say fit is more important than fashion, and quality is more important than quantity. Talked about the frames, we talked about the fragrance, and let's talk about the footwear. Even something as simple as this, guys. This one pair of boots is money. They're definitely highly complimented, and they start lots of conversations. I take care of them and they take care of me. I would say this, what people have told me when they see these shoes, any guy that's wearing those, I want to get to know. Treat yourself like you matter and the world will do the same. I would rather you have less of something and have good something, a lot of average, and do that in your personal life too. Stop allowing people into your personal life that don't meet up to your minimum expectation. Like I said, women should be FBI, feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. Now, maybe you work for somebody else and you cannot control who you interact with at work, but in your personal life, oh yes, you can. You most definitely can decide to not have any women, anybody in your life that does not treat you with respect, cooperation, and that feminine, beautiful, inspirational kind of thing. You can make those decisions. And the thing is, when you carry yourself a certain way, when you treat yourself in a certain way, you will actually give yourself permission to demand the best from others. That's the key. You got to carry yourself that way, give yourself permission to demand that people treat you with respect, address you with respect, let nothing slide. When someone wants to insult you, when someone wants to do a sneak diss or something like, call it out, call it right on the mat. Nope, your name is so-and-so, don't let them, your name is Daryl or Darren, don't let them call you D, say my name is Darren, my name is Daryl. Or other than that, call me Mr. Tibbs. Do not address me informally. Have a standard that you have for yourself. And here's the thing, the people that you'll tick off or something like that, the ones that'll say you're uppity, you're full of yourself, you're arrogant, you're ambitious, you didn't need them around you anyway. You need them out of your world. So they did you a favor by getting away from you. By raising your standard, you're gonna actually lose a lot of dead weight. But here's another thing, you'll actually start attracting people like you. Like attracts like. You want to be treated better by your colleagues, by women? Raise your standard. Treat yourself well and demand the same thing. But here's the other side. You also have to treat others with mirrored respect. But the golden rule still applies. You still need to treat other people the same way. Anytime I meet somebody, I go into an interaction with good faith, assuming that you're going to do the right thing. You get an opportunity to show me different. And as long as you treat me the way I expect to be treated, I will treat you the same way, and we will enjoy being around one another. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying here, or if you think, Kevin, I hear what you're saying, but that's not how the world goes. Instead, if you want to get that kind of outcome, you should do it this way. I'm open to hearing the discussion. Inquiring minds would like to know. But at the end of the day, it's the outcome that matters. If you want to be treated better, treat yourself like you matter first. Your Godfather is out.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Just a couple last thoughts. And I know this is quick and it's in the middle of the night. Nobody's really watching me, which is fine. But I just had to get this out of the way. I was going to do it tomorrow at 6:30. I mean, actually today at 6:30 in the evening, when I probably had more viewers. But I just had to just come on and get it off my chest and get it out of the way. And folk can watch it later. This is why it's going to be short. The Kevin Samuels effect. For those who try to minimize him, his contributions, they don't get it. They don't understand, and they're still stuck. You don't have to necessarily like everybody to understand that the message is effective. Um, you know, if your thought process on this man is that he didn't like women or he was disrespectful to women, then you weren't listening. You weren't listening at all. Today, his channel goes live again for the first time since May 4th. He passed May 5th. Since the first time since May 4th, his channel will go live. Have no idea what to expect in the celebration. Me and everybody else that I know or are connected to on YouTube is going to watch. And I just wanted to take 30 minutes or so to give my little piece of that, the Kevin Samuels effect. Please, guys, go back, watch the monologue, watch what I said. I don't really have a lot more to say at this particular point about it, but I did not monetize this, so I won't get any money from this. No YouTube money will come from this. Not everything is about money or earning. Sometimes it's just about an expression. Okay? Let me see. What can I leave here with? I'll leave here with this.